Hi everyone, these are my fingerless gloves. They're made with the bamboo stitch. Well, I'm gonna call them bamboo columns. And they're made with reflective yarn. This is a really cool yarn by Red Heart that when you take flash photography it shows like this. It's a lot of fun. We have a few projects with reflective yarn on our channel, but I wanted to do something really fast and quick as a gift or for yourself. These are really nice and warm and really cool for people who like running or biking in the evening or at night, because they're reflective and whoever's coming, they can reflect off the light. You have little thread here that reflects the light, so that's pretty cool. So I have my size 10.5 knitting needles, my Red Heart reflective yarn, which is a size 5, but you can use bulky yarn, or you can decide to use maybe just worsted yarn if you want to. I'm gonna mount 30 stitches. So I'm gonna start. I'm actually gonna do the butterfly because it's so much easier for me. Once you learn the butterfly method, you can't live without it. Oops. 2, 3, and I'll be right back. Okay, I casted on my 30 stitches and I have leftover yarn here to sew the ends. And alright, so the first row, which is, we're gonna have odd number rows and even number rows. So 1, 3, and 5 will be the same pattern. So here we go. We're gonna knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna purl 2. 1, 2. We're gonna knit 4. So this is the part that repeats itself from the purl 2, knit 4, purl 2, knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna repeat that part 3 times. So 2 more purls. 1, 2, 4 more knits. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more purls. 1, 2, 4 more knits. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna end up with 7 stitches, and this part is purl 2. 1, 2, and knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's row 1. On row 2, we're gonna do the opposite. So this is really fun because with time I learned that I didn't really need to pay attention to the pattern because I could just look at the stitches and I can see here that there's 5 purls, 2 knits, 4 purls, 2 knits. So if you're good at recognizing what stitches are here and you don't need to follow the pattern, you can just do that for the next 6 rows or the next 5 rows. But the next row is purl 5, hold on, sorry. Purl 5. Sometimes the first stitch is 2, 3, 4, 5, knit 2, 1, 2, purl 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 2, 1, 2, purl 4. So as you can see, it repeats itself 3 times. The pattern. 1 purl, 2 purls, 3 purls, 4 purls, and then knit 2, 1 knit, 2 knits, oops, and then again purl 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and knit 2, 1, 2, and the last 5 stitches are gonna be 5 purls. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So those are the first 2 rows, and you're gonna continue doing this for 1, 2, 3, 4 more times. So you're gonna do the first row, the third row is gonna be the same as the first. Let me remind you how it goes. It's knit 5, and then you start the pattern, right? Knit 5, purl 2, knit 4, purl 2, knit 4, purl 2, knit 4, purl 2, knit 5.
So how many rows in total?
So there's 6 rows, so you're gonna repeat this pattern, and on the opposite side is the opposite, right? So it'll be purl 5, knit 4, purl 5, purl 4, knit 2, and so the instructions are below. You're gonna repeat the same pattern for 6 rows, and once I get to the interesting part, which is this guy right here, I'll be right back. Okay, so I cheated because my mom helped me, and you can see the difference too, so much prettier. But we cheated. My mom knitted it for me. On row number 7, we're gonna knit 1. This is where the division starts for the pattern. See this part right here. So we're gonna knit 1 and then purl 4, 1. Your stitches are so much more loose, Mom. 2, 3, 4, knit 2, 1, 2. You're gonna repeat this 4 times. Purl 4, knit 2. Purl 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 2, 1, 2, purl 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 2, purl 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 2, 1, and it is pretty much the opposite of what's below, and purl 4 and knit 1 is at the end. Purl 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and knit 1. If you're confused about the instructions, remember that they are below the video on the read more. You need to click on read more to see all the instructions, and they're in there. So row number 8 is the opposite of what you just did. So we're gonna purl 1, and you can see it. You can see it here. Knit, purl, knit, purl. So it's gonna be purl 1. You can recognize them. The ones without the noose are the knits, and the ones with the noose are the purls. 1, 2 knits, 3 knits, 4 knits, purl 2, repeat the pattern. Knit 4, got stuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, purl 2, 1, 2, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, purl 2. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you guys prefer that I stick around and show you all the stitches, or do you pause and fast forward? I usually let the video play to make sure I'm knitting the right pattern, but I'm not sure about you guys. Do you pause or like fast forward to the point where you are done with the pattern? I'm curious to see what you guys think or what you prefer. And at the end we have knit 4, purl 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and purl 1. And that is row number 8. And guess what happens to row number 9 and 10? You would think, okay, well that's the whole pattern, and now I start again with this. But the pattern I have, you have to make 2 more rows like this. So you're gonna repeat row number 1 and 2 again on top of this. So I'll be right back to show you that. Okay, so we're here and we're gonna repeat row number 1 and 2, which is row number 1 is purl 2. No, I'm sorry. Knit 5, purl 2, knit 4, purl 2, knit 4, purl 2, knit 4, purl 2, and until you reach the end is purl 2, knit 5. And on the opposite row was purl 5, knit 2, purl 4, knit 2, purl 4, knit 2, purl 4, knit 2, and purl 5. You're gonna repeat those 2 first rows, and we're done with our 10 rows, and then from there you repeat the pattern until, so you can see here, this is where I started, this is where the pattern ended, and this is where it started again, this is where it ended. And so you're gonna repeat the pattern for whatever length you want. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 repeats here, and at the end I did a little bit of knit purl to kind of make it a little stretchy. I did 2 rows of that and I bound off, and that's how long my glove is. So you can really make as many repeats as you want. If you want 3, you would have a shorter fingerless glove. and that will look just fine. And the stretchy part is up to you. I just did knit purl for 3 rows. So there you go. I'm gonna let my mom take off from here so we can have a very neat sewing for the gloves, but she's gonna show you how to make this.
So you pick up a loop from the edge, and of course this is yarn that you left at the beginning of your knit. So you're going to pass there. You're going to go into that middle knot, the one that you had at the beginning. So you're going to go into the middle of that knot. This is yarn that's a little bit heavier, so I'm going to pass this one first. Okay, now you're going to come in the middle of the next knot. So of course you're going to skip the stitch that has only one. So I'm going to go into that same one, and then you skip the one that has one and you go into the middle of the knot. So here I have 1 and 1. So from here to here was 1. From here to here was, so I have 2 and 2. So again, you have your knot there. See it? Where you have two strands. You go in there, you skip the one where only one strand, and you go into the middle of your next knot. So there you have it. And then we go from the inside that same stitch that you came out from, because that's the same thing. So that same spot, you go in there and come out in the middle of your next knot. So you're going to skip the one that has only one, skip that one, and go into the middle of your next knot. And so we go into the same spot that we left off on this side. We go in there, skip this one, and go into the middle of your next knot. And so again, we go into that same spot in there, and we go into the middle of your next knot right there. And so now we go into there, and we go into the middle of the next knot, which will be right there. So now we have the same amount on one side and the other, because we're leaving off where that pattern ends. So let's put this one where the pattern ends. This is where this pattern ends. So of course you have your 6 rows and then your 2, which are the beginning of your glove, and you put your yarn in there, turn your glove, pick up a strand from one side and a strand from the other, and make a very, very tight knot right there. Make a very, very tight knot there. And now you can weave in your ends. There we have it. So now we can cut that excess yarn, and now we're going to go to the other side. So this is the side that has that part in here. So now we go and sew the other side, and we do the same thing. We're going to go into that edge there, that edge where
you started?
Yeah, where the knot is. Yeah. Well, this is the side that you finished. So now we go into that knot. We went into that knot there. We go into the knot here, and we go from this side to that first or next knot there. See it? I'm going to be cutting this because it's getting in the way.
It unravels sometimes. That's so the reflective part.
Yeah, but we don't need it. We don't need that reflective thing there. So let's get it out because it's kind of rough for sewing with. So it's out. And then you will go from that knot to the next. and from that knot skip that one and go to the next. So open them nice, and because that's the reason you have 5 stitches here and 5 stitches here, because you're going to be grabbing part of one and part of the other. So that's the reason that happens. So you're going to go from here to the next and go from that knot to the next. A lot of people have you pick up the whole loop, which you could if you wanted to, because like that you can skip only that much. But you know, this is
bulky.
It looks bulky on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason I do this, because it looks nice and neat. So pick up from one side, from knot to knot on this side. So from knot to knot on this side, and you go all the way down. So you need to go in and out on the same side. So in and out on the same side. So we have from here to there, and from here to there. Let's open all these nice and big from here to there. And of course, you want to leave the gap for your thumb. So what we're going to do, we're going to sew until you have enough to leave your thumb there. So it's up to you how big you want it. So let's go and sew all the way to up there. So from this knot to that one. And from here to here. Try to leave long tail, so like that you don't miss yarn when you're sewing.
Yeah, you should have left a little more.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay, we have enough. So now, of course, here you want to make sure how big a gap you want. And I do think we need to go up to there. So let's do 2 more. So let's do from here, which is where I took off, to the next knot. Let me see where it is. Right there. And from here to there. I think that's enough.
Yeah, that looks good.
Let's see how it feels. Yeah, that looks good.
Mm-hmm.
So of course that means you're going to do 2 more up on that space there. You're going to bring your yarn down to the other side, to the inside. Turn your glove so you
want your knot on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're going to pick up a strand from one side, pick up another one from the other side, make a big knot, the kind that is twisted, see, because that is a twisted knot. Be careful that you don't leave a gap there, because you don't want it to open. Make it nice and tight, and now you can weave your ends.
We do have a video on how to sew. We have a couple of them if you want more ways to sew, because we have this, and we have
fingerless gloves that we have done from beginning to end. Mm-hmm. And we have on how to sew the edges. We have a video on all those. So now there's your glove, and that's the way it looks.
I'm gonna include a picture on how it looks with the flash. Looks really cool.
So there you go. And that's how you sew it. And you see there's no seams. You can't see a seam.
So pretty.
See? Mm-hmm. And that is the way it's supposed to look. You're not supposed to have ugly
bulkiness.
seams. So this is the way it's supposed to look.
Nice job. Thank you for watching. This was a very nice collaboration, Joanne. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please share with your friends. And happy holidays.